this will be a controversial one based on what I've seen online. All right, so first of all, we had a new. Sorry, SAG. I'm breaking rules on this one. I didn't want to do it, but I'm breaking rules on this one. We had a new show premiere last week. By the way, hit the like button if you guys have not done so. I realize we have 14 people watching. We only have 6 likes. Smash that shit. I was watching Star Wars. Ahsoka premiered last week, and I hated it. One of the things that bothered me about the show was I didn't understand how old everybody was supposed to be. So the other day at work, I was bored. I was waiting on the line for support for a customer, and I was like, "Well, I'm here. I'm just gonna do some math." So I figured out, with the help of Wikipedia, how old everybody is on this show. Just because of who I had done the math for. Anakin's on here. He's not on the show, but he would have been 50. This is assuming Ahsoka is taking place at the same time as season 1 of Mandalorian. I'm not sure when it is, but that's assuming that. So Ahsoka's 45, Hera 38, Sabine is 30. I'm going to try to be as nice about this as I can. Everybody's entitled to like what they like. 1,000%. 1,000%. And while you guys ridicule me for liking The Flash, and I ridicule others for liking Green Lantern, I do understand, at the end of the day, everybody has their likes, their interests, whatever. I feel like there are some productions, some shows, some movies that universally most people would say are bad, but have good qualities to them. Like Green Lantern is a bad movie. There's likable things about it. Again, I'm not going to hate somebody for liking it, but there are movies that come out that everybody says these are bad, but I like the charm, I like the whatever of it, and we move about our day. The Ahsoka show, for whatever reason right now, is getting a level of praise and love that I truly do not think is genuine. I don't. And I'm not going at any content creators here. I'm not this is an attack on Titan or whatever. I was watching the show, and nothing from the start seemed fresh, seemed original, seemed to make sense. It was just things. There's characters that we recognize, there's beautiful set pieces, there's lightsabers. And that's it. I truly believe that Disney is creatively bankrupt. I think they are completely creatively bankrupt. Somebody posted a image showing the sequel trilogy and seeing all the Star Wars, other shows being made now, and how they follow the same format. I feel obligated to watch Ahsoka at this point because of this channel. As a Star Wars fan, I feel obligated to watch Ahsoka. But I was sitting down with casuals watching the show, people who do not watch everything Star Wars, but they watch The Mandalorian because season 1 and 2 were good. And they were so confused. And what is happening? What is this? Who's what? They were so confused. And don't get me wrong, I want shows that cater to the hardcores. But if you make it so convoluted that only the hardcores would know it, you're not going to get a ton of views. It's just not going to happen. I have a laundry list of issues I wrote down as I was watching it. You guys already know most of them, right? The stabbings, lightsabers doing bullshit to people now. Like, it goes on. The biggest, I'm going to say two things. There's two things that when I was watching the show, I was like, fuck you. Sorry, I'm going to take the gloves off. I'm sorry. There are two things when the show was on that happened in the first 20 minutes that I literally said, fuck you. One, we have droids walking around with city leveling detonators on their persons. 3 droids were fighting Ahsoka, said initiate self-destruct, and she ran away, pulled a Rogue One exit when the Death Star shot the planet to get away from them. If 3 droids have the power to cause a nuclear explosion in a city, why do you even need a Death Star? Why do you even need Star Destroyers? You don't need any of that shit. You could literally make 1,000 droids and just sprinkle that shit over an entire planet, and the planet's gone. The entire planet is gone. And I was like, we made this mistake with the freaking hyperspace into a ship to destroy it. We already made that mistake once. Hopefully they're not going to do it again. They did it again. And I feel like nobody talks about that one. But the second thing, the most egregious bullshit on this show, number 1, if I'm ranking these things, that was number 2. Number 1, when it comes to how stupid the Ahsoka show is. At the end of Rebels, Ezra, he turned himself in to Thrawn. He used the Force and called the goddamn space whales, right? The hyperspace space whales came. And they grabbed the ship and hyperspaced out of there. Just out of there. And somehow there's a map that points a laser to finding where the space whales took Thrawn and Ezra. That's like saying I took a T-bone steak, went outside, saw a random ass dog, threw the T-bone steak, the dog picked up the steak, took off somewhere, and then I go in my pocket and I pull up a map as to where that fucking dog took that steak. That is so stupid. That is so dumb. And they're so hard on maps to take you to a thing that they add maps for no reason. For absolutely no reason. And I can go on for days. on the issues with this show. I don't understand the it gets a 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10 stuff. I truly don't. And I probably should have disclaimed this from the top. I liked Clone Wars. I liked parts of Rebels. I didn't like all of Rebels. I liked parts of Rebels. I liked the ending of Rebels. I liked Ahsoka on The Mandalorian. I like Rosario Dawson. I can laundry list the things I like so that people don't think I'm somehow like fandom menacing this thing. But it was ridiculous. It was stupid. Absolutely stupid. And when the whole writer strike thing is done, I'll do videos on it. Sal, Anthony, myself, Aaron, we were talking about like dropping reviews after the strike is done on stuff that we didn't review because of the strike. But I felt absolutely obligated to talk about this bullshit. I'm sorry. And again, if you like the show, more power to you. I'm not attacking you as a person. I just think that we have to, at a certain point, be like, are we rewarding mediocre things because it's a franchise that you like? I feel like that might be happening here. And I cannot wait until the next earnings review, earnings call, earnings reports from Disney to see how many more subscribers they gained when Ahsoka came out. I'm willing to bet they're gaining in the month of August and losing in September. I'm willing to bet. Sorry. I wanted so much of that show. I wanted so much of Ahsoka. And I still do. But it is crap. That those first two episodes outside of the visuals were crap. That's all I got. That's all I got without doing a whole breakdown. Sal says Ahsoka is a huge drop in quality. Mando 3 had the same problem. Yep. Cutthroat says, I think Disney knows how to put a great Star Wars show together. Yet Ahsoka doesn't continue. Sorry, you put in doesn't. I mean doesn't, a mistype, sorry. Oh, I think Disney doesn't know how to put a show together. Yeah, Ahsoka continues the Rebels cartoon series. Ahsoka has a few things going for it. Its style of filming, the storytelling is cool and influenced by samurai epics. I actually disagree with part of that. I saw you guys talking about it before. I feel like it's more the fighting might be more samurai, but the visual I think is more medieval. Like if you look at that, I swear to God, if that's Star Killer, I'm gonna lose my shit, and not in a good way. That the guy who we all think is Star Killer, and the other two. Sorry. Order 66 happens. You watch your family, your friends all get massacred, and all these random Jedi are like, I'm gonna turn bad now. Like this logically makes sense. I'm gonna go help the Empire out. Like I don't get it. I don't get it. Vader kidnapping people. This is in the comics. Vader kidnapping people and torturing them into turning dark side. Like torturing them, and the ones who can't even survive that to straight up die, but torturing them to becoming Inquisitors makes sense. You take a bunch of younglings, friggin' brainwash them, do all sorts of shit. They become Inquisitors. Makes sense. We keep meeting these former Jedi that are like, you know what? I'm so disenfranchised by everything. I'm gonna not even become Sith. I'm literally gonna help the Empire do things. I'm like, who wrote this? It bothers me. But that dude, R.I.P. Rey, and the girl, I feel like they're more medieval looking in their armor, in his lightsaber, his demeanor, very Dooku. I like that part about it, like that he's very like old school, like Dooku. So I feel like it's more the medieval route. The Witches of Dathomir are actual magic users. Yes, you have a good point there for sure. I gotta watch the show. I agree with the concept was weak, but there are good parts to it. The visuals. We caught shit about our Boba Fett. Yeah, Boba Fett was terrible. People don't even talk about it anymore. People don't even talk about it. Everyone gets a trophy. You have a right to your opinion. I like Ahsoka. They could be gray Jedi. I disagree with you. Love the Kurosawa and all that stuff. Ahsoka's not that. I love Kurosawa as well. Lucas uses several Kurosawa films to influence his work. Yep. Now, if you said Mando, I 100% agree. Mando is clearly influenced by Lone Wolf and Cub. Yeah. So, gray Jedi, like, I get. I get the concept of Grey Jedi. I love the concept of Grey Jedi. You know who actually hates Grey Jedi? Freddie Prinze Jr. Freddie Prinze Jr. has made tons of videos going at the fans. One of them is Grey Jedi. He thinks Grey Jedi is the dumbest shit ever. He's like, either you're light or you're dark. That's it. And I feel like Freddie Prinze at times is trolling. Because I think Grey Jedi, Qui-Gon Jinn, probably the most famous of them all. Currently, I would say Ahsoka is a Grey Jedi. Like, if you don't follow the Jedi Order to like an Obi-Wan standard, you're gray. Because you're not following the mantras and all that stuff. You bend the lines a little bit. You're not going dark side, but you bend the lines a little bit. So Ahsoka is currently, I think, the face of Grey Jedi. Yeah. I don't know. I was really passionate about that. Because Qui-Gon was gray. Because he disobeyed the order and was kind of doing his own thing. Like, what's his face? The one, Quinlan Voss. Quinlan Voss was another one that was kind of gray. Byron is definitely gray. So here's the thing. I don't think you can be gray and working for the Empire or the villains, you know? Like I could see you being gray, being like, I have a job to do, so I'm gonna do the job, whether it's good or bad. I could see that. But he's straight up like, I'm doing this to gain power. Like, that's very Sith-like to me. But I feel like they don't want to write those two characters to be Sith because they want them to be good at a certain point. They're going to want them to be like, I guess I was wrong. I will help fight whatever this bigger bad is. Like, they want them to do that. Kyle Kestis, gray. Yes. But Grey Jedi is still a Jedi. So to do those things that they're doing, I'm like, I don't see it. Dooku was gray before he turned. Yeah. Tales of the Jedi. Great show. Tales of the Jedi. Amazing, amazing show. Amazing writing. But when this show came on, when Ahsoka at 30 years old is on a speeder bike, leaving her own celebration, listening to whatever it was that Kenobi was saying also on his live stream, it took him out of the show. Yeah. I was like, this music doesn't match any of this. And this show is not for me anymore. Like I may have officially exited or I missed the train. The train doors closed and I missed it is what happened. She does the bike slide. They're talking to her like she's the daughter of the dude. You got to come back to the celebration. I'm not going back. The fuck? That chick has run Black Ops missions from the age of 15. Saved the planet. Saved the Empire. And they're treating her like she's a princess to that dude who should be dead by now or in a wheelchair. Because he was old in Rebels. It's insane. I think the concept of gray is cool, but it doesn't work in canon Star Wars. They'd have to be a complete nomad. Like a straight up nomad at this point where they're gun for hire. They're a Mandalorian that's force sensitive. Do good, do bad. They're a Ronin. They have no master. That to me is how they could do a Grey Jedi proper at this point. But these guys who are like, yeah, I just want ultimate power. Most powerful being, like, you're not. No. Freddie Prinze doesn't believe in gray, but only a Sith deals in absolutes. And there you go. Couldn't have said it better myself. Oh, man, what an episode. What an episode. Hasbro rumored to be dropping a Chopper and Sabine retro carded figure, one of each for the HasLab if it hits 17,000. I don't think it's going to hit 17,000. That many casuals are not into it. Mark me a hater if you want. Sorry. Sal says, my first video here outlines what if Anakin went gray. There you go.